Civilization did the same thing to Australia and Asia and again India. So far, what do we have that civilization has brought us? Rape, killing, more advanced weaponry. To fight for what? For soil? Kill one another, fight over a piece of gold, fight now over a piece of paper or even a number on the screen. A lot of you are going to argue with me, well, civilization gave us cars so we can get around better. Civilization gave us cell phones and the internet. Think about this. People that lived culturally, ancients, and of course this is because of Kali Yuga, and again I'm going to do a whole video on Kali Yuga. But still, imagine, people living culturally, they used 100% of their brain. Think about now. And those that will argue, well, we do use 100% of them. No, we use about 3 to 6% of the brain. Think about our smell, how not developed it is. Think about our vision, how underdeveloped it is. Think about our minds. I would suggest for everyone to go see the movie Lucy, where they show a human being finally being able to use 100% of the mind and the capabilities of it. And just imagine when you and our ancestors did use 100% of their mind, you can, and I don't want to use the word manipulate, but become one with all the atomic, atom, and molecular structure around you, where you can become whatever you want. That's why ancients and Native Americans and Slavic people had stories of people shape-shifting and becoming different animals and things like that. If you don't want to go that far, fine. Let's not get all fairy tale, even though it was very much a reality. But just think about the possibilities if you were able to use 100% of the brain. They said that Christ used 100% of the brain, meaning beyond the intellect, being able to walk on water because he felt everything and was one with everything. I'll make a video what happens to the atoms and the molecules and the cell structure of our bodies and what happens when the molecules get purified and such. But let's stick to this, man. So just imagine, watch like people like Stephen Greer. He goes deep into it. Promote viewing, it's called. Imagine if, and this is very possible even now, in a form of meditation, you can travel outside of the planet and the galaxies, because everything is one network. The internet can only go that far. We can send pictures with the internet. If we were one with nature, living culturally, we would be able to use telekinesis and telepathically communicate. You would be able to telepathically stand in front of someone, cut off limbs. One thing I have to address: when you live one with culture, you feed your body one with culture. The ancients didn't have all these sicknesses. They lived up to 5,000 years, there are stories. Even there are yogis now living a couple hundred years in India today, despite of the civilization. We'll be lucky if we make it to 70 or 80 nowadays with civilization, man. We have to take a handful of medications just to not cure but sustain life. There are stories If we were able to use and live culturally, one with culture of Mother Earth, we would be able to regrow limbs if necessary, regrow teeth if necessary. Again, people were much stronger, lived much longer because Mother Earth allowed them to. The universe allowed them to. They would fulfill their karmic duty in one lifetime, 1,000 or 5,000 years. Instead, we keep reincarnating hundreds and thousands of times, doing the same thing over and over again. Excuse me, because we think civilization is the way. Now they're talking about AI and robots performing our duties, man. Or it would be simple. We have GMO now. We feed our bodies with all types of hormones. Imagine, they say that the meat nowadays has over 400 different hormones and antibiotics inside it. Culture, Mother Nature says, take a few seeds, throw them in the ground, and I will give you food. Open your arms to me with love, and I will hug you with love and welcome you as my child. But instead, we keep destroying it. Civilization has imposed the way we should dress, where they have poor kids in poverty-stricken countries because of civilization in basements, 7 and 8 years old, sewing the shoes that we wear in the first world countries, man, just for some stupid-ass fashion. Culture, they wore clothing as archons, according, again, with the universe, with Mother Nature, man. Every piece of clothing meant something. Every piece of jewelry meant something. Now we throw this jewelry all over ourselves. We don't even know what it does. Culture people knew what each mineral and stone did for the organs and the brain. The way it connected us to the cosmos, man. Everything was done accordingly. Again, civilization has brought us disease, murder, jealousy, envy, gluttony, all these different things, man. And now they're trying to say we're gonna have robots. God knows what these robots are gonna do, but that certainly is not the future, because we're waking up. Kali Yuga has ended. In the next 50 years, we're gonna wake up. We're gonna go back to culture. That is where we should be. Civilization has taught us to look at each other as pieces of meat for some sexual desires. Culture told us that we are a unity. We're in this together. So many sick things came from civilization, man. You know, people molesting young kids, even in churches and things like that. Culture told us that our children are our jewels, the future, our continuation of our ancestral tree. Civilization tells us, kids are our property, and be a control freak so you could be proud of them down the line in front of your friends. Again, civilization misuses and abuses. Culture gives us purpose, a reason to love and a reason to thrive, one in harmony with everything. This planet, this solar system, and this galaxy is one unit, one mechanism, and we have to be a cell in that mechanism to keep moving forward. Instead, we have become the disease, the germ that's eating from inside the mechanism. Pretty sure everybody got the idea, man. What will you choose? Culture or civilization? Matter of fact, we don't have a choice anymore. Civilization is destroying us. So the only choice is to go back to our natural ways, cultural ways. Embrace this planet as our mother and let it embrace us before it wipes us out. Because it's only going to take so much. So many have come before us. So many have been wiped out. So many civilizations have been wiped out. Will we be next? Or will we be the ones to realize that the change comes from in here and we do have a choice? And we will change the course of the future. If not for ourselves, let's do it for our children. Our jewels, not our property, man. Civilization has taught us that a sexual act is just that, a way to fulfill your physical desire. Culture told us that a sexual act is meant to create life and continue your family tree and keep it healthy and strong. This was proof to me that you're alive. Just as with every episode and every light cast, I pray that we think about these things. I pray that we go outside and we realize, when we look around, that these trees are alive. They give us an ability to breathe. I wish that you come out and you look at the sun and you realize that in that moment you are welcome in life. You have the ability to ponder and wonder these things and pass on a little bit of love around, spread it around. Again, we're in this together. This was NazareN. This was proof to me that you're alive. I truly, with all my heart, love all of you. Let's choose culture.